We're at Highbury, where Arsenal are out to win Group B in the Champions League tonight. Their opponent, Sparta Prague, might still qualify if they were to win this match. And your commentators for this evening, Ron Atkinson, and first, Peter Drury.
Well, thank you, Des. So, thanks to Messrs Radzinski and Rivaldo, still only one English club, certainly through to the last 16 of the Champions League. And there are that club's principal employees. Behind the mascot, Lee Dixon, who tonight is captain of the club in the absence of Tony Adams and Martin Keown. Arsenal in blue. They've done their visitors the polite thing of allowing them to wear their own colour, and that is Yuri Novotny, who you'll recall from the Euro 96 in that most successful of Czech sides, who is the captain of Sparta Prague tonight. Safe to say unequivocally now that Arsenal have been markedly happier here in the cramped surroundings of their own home at Highbury than they were at Wembley in previous campaigns. Familiarity with their surrounds, familiarity that has bred only assurance and success. On this ground this season, Arsenal played 7, won 7, and they can't wait to get out there again. Regardless of certain progress, the ground is still full. Arsenal remain a draw, and their aim tonight is to improve their draw in the next section of the competition. Up to a point, these are farewell handshakes. Whatever the outcome, it's the last time they'll meet for a while. In the second phase, you cannot be drawn against an opponent from the first phase of the Champions League. Now it's an indication of Arsene Wenger's desire to do this job properly, but he names as strong an 11 as he can muster. Silvinho having been past fit, centre-half was clearly the problem position. Tony Adams still injured, Martin Keown suspended, likewise Gilles Grimandi, who could have deputised there. So Oleg Luzhny joins forces with Nelson Vivas, only 5'6", but familiar with the role and a sufficiently adept reader of the game to compensate for his lack of inches. Late shock news for Sparta. Their lead striker, Josef Ubaidin, was injured in training last night, which enables 17-year-old Thomas Yun to make a Champions League debut in what, despite what you see there, I'm told is going to be a three-man front line, 4-3-3 the likely formation. Other notable absentees, fullback Zdenek Grigera, sent off for deliberate handball last week and suspended, and Zdenek Svoboda, a right-sided influence when Arsenal went to Prague, he is injured. Back on the Arsenal bench, Dennis Bergkamp has started Upton Park on Saturday, still only one Champions League start this season. And Matthew Upson there, he reappears, nice story, nearly 11 months since getting injured at Leicester. We have a Luxembourgeois referee, he is Alain Amer, and he's very young, not 35 till next month. He has officiated in Belfast and Cardiff, but never before in England. Now then, Rod, a couple of key figures from you.
Yeah, well, when he left the club, everybody said, how can they replace Overmars? I think they've replaced him with somebody who eventually would prove to be better. Robert Perez, all-round player, As he showed by his goal in Lazio last week, he's got everything. All he needs is that little bit of extra knowledge and experience. Against him, I think we'll find Mikel Horniak, who's been a big star in the Czech Republic side, strong, experienced, and he will have to be right on his toes to look after some of these talents.
Well, no one has beaten Arsenal on this ground since Liverpool in February. No continental side since Borussia Mönchengladbach 4 years back. And should the Czechs meekly follow recent precedent, then Arsenal should be group winners by the end of the night. But football never made sense in quite that way. Here is Rosicky wearing 25, bright young player who is rated very highly in Czech international circles, and whose first delivery is a good one for Sionko to chase to the byline and then to lash behind into the north bank. There he is, Rosicky. He's only 20 years old. He played the last 10 minutes against Iceland a couple of weeks ago internationally. 6 caps in all. First caps only a few months before his 19th birthday, and he's not even the youngest player in the side tonight. It's David Seaman, who's older even than the referee. Bouncing towards Cannon, who came away from Horniak. Good for Pires. Here's Patrick Vieira. No Arsenal side can be described as weak whilst he's in it.
I think what they'll find as well today, Peter, because the Czechs always play, the Czech Republic sides always play in a certain way, and they're no different today. They'll have markers at the back, they'll try and have a loose man at the back, which is Yuri Notby. And they stretch the game, there'll be plenty of space to play in. The back players won't squeeze up a lot, they'll just drop off deep, and they'll give Arsenal players a lot of space to play in.
Arsene Wenger turned 51 on Sunday. And he ain't going to manage England in the near future, it seems to me. Here's Kinsel. Rosicky, tackled by Vieira, those long legs starting to pump. Feeds it forward for Pires, who has Henry up in support, who goes inside of Novotny, whose tackle is actually an excellent one.
That was a brilliant tackle. To be fair, I thought Pires has completely sold him then. I thought Novotny was in trouble when he slid in. Perfectly timed. As I say, they're going to have to look an awful lot to him. That's good. That's a good up back and through if he stays in.
Sionko again going towards the byline. Yun is alone in the middle. That was Dixon competing, and my first impression was that there was hand to ball there.
I just wonder what had happened if there had been a stronger reaction from the players, stronger appeal, but they might have just startled the referee a bit.
Silvino past fit. Close to kick-off, had a very late fitness test. It's an ankle problem he has. Yesterday he was able to kick without tackling, but today clearly he's able to tackle as well. Ashley Cole is waiting to deputise on the bench if necessary, and there is a school of thought that says that the Brazilian won't see out the full 90 minutes. We'll see. Wesley Dixon captain for the night and involved in the first talking point of the evening.
Ooh. I tell you what, it's a half-hearted appeal from the player behind him. Is it Thomas Yun? He's only a kid, but I think not from the coach.
Penalty ref.
knows, and I think he's right. I think it should have been a penalty.
Through by Pires, out by Novotny. Here's Horniak. On its way by Jarosik. Rosicky. Yun's ahead of him. Out for Parla. On back by Jarosik. Virtually facing his own goal. The reassuring figure of David Seaman, who, whilst he didn't make great contact with the clearance, did the sensible thing and belted it towards the touchline. Harsh doubts about him in my view in recent weeks. He was beaten by Stuart Pearce on Saturday, by Didi Hamann, that free kick against Germany, but those are the only 2 goals he's let in his last 6 games.
Just looking at the pairing at the back, I mean, there's decent quality there with Vives and Lushny. What they may lack tonight, because the game, Arsenal have got to make their own motivation for this. They've got to be careful that they're not a bit complacent, having already qualified, because as the manager said beforehand, it is important they go through as top of the group. And I think the people like Keown and the man on the ball now, Vieira,
Parla. Good hit! Great goal! What a hit! Top corner, and on a night when the team had to raise the crowd, Ray Parla has done just that for Arsenal. What a smashing goal.
That's perfect. Good build-up, nice play. They back off him. He sees the ball and bang. That's a great goal. There won't be many better goals scored in Europe this week than that. That is a super goal. But I think you get that. I think if that was against an English or an Italian defence, you'd be expecting defenders to come out and press. Parla relishes the space and makes full advantage of it.
Ray Parla's first goal of the season, his first since scoring at Watford on Easter Day. He's up and running, playing in central midfield tonight. He's been in good shape all season, and now he has a goal to reward him. And the top of the group is in very sharp focus now from Arsenal's point of view. Kanu shaking off Vladimir Labant.
I think whenever you played against teams from this part of the world, one of the things you always said is, do they go under? Once you score, do they go under? And I think there's going to be an awful lot asked of their character now. That's the worst possible start Sparta Prague could have had.
Not a great start for the manager, Ivan Hasek, a young man as well, only 37. A great friend, though, of Arsene Wenger. Their career paths have crossed on more than one occasion. France and in Japan, where whilst Wenger was at Grand Passaic, Hasek was playing for a rival club.
Oh, he's an excellent player, Hasek.
Vieira. No problem with his motivation. Arsenal's free kick. The foul by René Wolf.
He doesn't even give the impression he'd take it steady in a testimonial, Vieira, does he?
Pires. Lovely 1-2 with Henry, and he's won himself bags of space here. Pires. 2-0. Lauren. An Olympic gold medal. And now a Champions League goal. 2-0 Arsenal, and they are cruising.
Yeah, all about the pace and the awareness of Pires. He's actually cut that back, he's picked that ball. It's not a drag cross behind runners. He's looked, his head's up, look, he's played it into Song, and it's a super finish. They aren't easy to tuck away, and this is going to be a floodgates job now. I've just said it'll test their character. It won't test them now.
A home European debut for the Cameroon international. And a goal to go with it. And this is an evening which Arsenal could grow really to enjoy. Cannon. Vivas. Dixon. It's interesting to see the way they've broken through so comfortably tonight, because over in Prague on match day 1, it took them a while. They were a little bit functional, working their way through it. It took a little bit of inspiration from Silvino in the end to do the trick, and here is that man now. Novotny's got across to meet him.
Yeah, but the way they shape at the back, Sparta Prague, they shape with like leaving a lot of width in the corners of their defence, and anybody with pace, we've just seen Pires do it. I don't doubt for a minute that Henry at some given stage in the game will run down the sides of them.
Goal news from Group D tonight, Rangers Group, and it comes from Monte Carlo. It is Monaco 1, the group leaders Galatasaray 0. Contreras with the goal. Galatasaray start the evening on top of the group. I would suggest that is a handy goal from Rangers' point of view. Monaco visit them on match day 6. Yun.
You know, if you're Arsene Wenger now, let's see this one through. Novotny doesn't know.
Novotny's back pass, Henry is onto it. Thierry Henry, side netting.
Oh, Novotny didn't know, and that's a sitter miss, Henry. He's trying to blame everybody. He played it blind. I almost call that. Hey, look, no attention to it, just casual. And you can't blame the keeper for that. But it is an easy chance miss once he's gone around the keeper.
Well enough, Thierry Henry hasn't scored a goal in the Champions League.
Tell you what, the funny thing though, that was reminding me that the best striker, the best scorer of goals I've ever worked with was Tony Brown at West Bromwich Albion. And he always said, you know, if you're on the lookout for back passes, you'll get at least one chance a game.
interesting. By Jarosik. Vieira climbed upon, that's the bite a bit. Hasek with the infringement. Just in the relative freshness of Patrick Vieira. Because of his long domestic suspension, he's only just getting into the rhythm of Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday, which the rest of them have been through for 5 or 6 weeks now. Rosicki, Labant, Silvino. What an influence Pires is, increasingly. You said last week, Ron, people are just starting to realise how good a player he is, and Henry has broken a tackle as well. Couldn't get inside of Wolf though, and Horniak can attempt to clear. Pires is close to him, and here's Rosicki. Well read by Luzhny.
Yeah, making reference to Pires again. I mean, he's got that lovely thing. He's got the acceleration and pace to play on either flank. When I can remember him playing years ago against Newcastle on the right wing and giving them a bit of a tousing. And now he operates on the left here, both for the club here and for France when he's in the side. But he always gives the impression, and he did against Holland in that make-weight match, if you like, which was such a classic in Euro 2000, that he could go in and be the central midfield player. It might also be a chance today, you know, that Arsenal's ball. Might also be a chance today for Kanu to fill his booth with a few goals.
He's due a few goals.
Yeah.
Gets a score in 14 appearances this season, Kanu, which, given some of the lovely cameos we've seen from him, is an extraordinary statistic. A guy who might fancy a goal or two, Dennis Bergkamp, back on the Arsenal bench. His contract negotiations are causing a little bit of gossip in and around Arsenal. He has actually started the last 4 Premiership games, but only 1 start in this competition.
This time last year, and has been for the last 3 or 4 years, he was the man, wasn't he? He was the main man. All of a sudden, you know, they've got so many alternatives and options.
Fellas, he played terrifically well against Lazio, of course, didn't he, making those 2 goals for Ljungberg. Not that he doesn't still have an influence at the club.
That's the colour of the shirt. I'm sure he still thinks they're playing. I was going to say red. There's hardly a difference between the 2 colours.
An odd pass by Pires, who's determined to win it back. Laurent's there with him. Horniak down the line. Silvino to meet him. Sionko. By Luzhny. Oh, nice touch from Henry. What a beautiful idea. Horniak forced back towards goal by Pires. This Sparta Prague side ought to be pretty full of confidence. They had a good 4-1 win at the weekend against Slovan Liberec, who are Liverpool's opponents at Anfield in the UEFA Cup tomorrow. Kinsel. Now by Parler. Free kick to Sparta Prague. Smashing goal at the start of the game from Ray Parler, who's on a yellow card in the competition. Doesn't want to pick up a silly one now.
If they could buy a goal now, they badly need one. Sparta, they badly need one.
Rosicki is there. Yuri Jarosik, big blonde striker of all alongside him. Hasek also in the vicinity of the free kick, though, as you saw there, just moving away. It's the left-footed option. It's a terrific strike and brilliantly saved by David Seaman with the aid of the crossbar. Increasingly, it seems to me, over the last couple of weeks in the Champions League, goalkeeping has been an issue. We had John Lukic and all his age last week. We had Paul Robinson, brilliant for Leeds last night. And now David Seaman, determined to hang on to his supremacy with a great touch against the bar from Labant's free kick.
Yeah, it was a brilliant save, and when your luck's riding for you, as it was in that case, I tell you what, 9 times out of 10 that must have gone in the net. But look at Dixon's anticipation. He's anticipated like a striker, and he's got there first. In a normal situation like that, it's normally a striker following up. Dixon, he breaks off the end of the wall and gets back, and that's top-class experience. Not even a suggestion it's over the line. Full marks to the pair of them, the two veterans.
Smashing save. Sorry, with a blue shirt, like you said, Dixon was first to react, and instinctively I thought, oh, this must be the opposition following up, but it was a great clearance by Dixon. And the Seaman is now threatened again by Marek Kinsel.
Yeah, normally in that sort of situation, you normally see forwards powering in on the keeper. It's a little bit unlucky. He's trying to hook it over. I think he senses Seaman's off his line. Forwards normally are always first to react, and that's full marks to Dixon. A little bit lucky early in the game when he didn't get penalised for what looked a handball, but himself got his team off the hook there.
Low key at Highbury tonight. The crowd needs lifting. Arsenal are doing their very best. 2 early goals.
What you're saying is that not the atmosphere there was against Sheffield Wednesday.
Well, certainly for the last 20 minutes.
But I don't think Arsene Wenger will mind that too much. I think he wants a nice quiet night, put the opposition to bed, finish top of the group, and let's wait for the next score.
Canu, got a corner. Really both seeing it behind, considered the best aerial defender in the Czech league right now. Usually he's forward, seeking his first goal for Arsenal, and Patrick Vieira in the trouble against Charlton early in the year. Silvino's corner, and a very comfy catch for Thomas Ostulka. Yun for Labant. Towards Kinsel.
He's trying that a lot, Labant, but once again, there's an example of Pires' team play. He's worked his way back, he's filled into the defenders. I think, without looking at the respective merits of either him or Overmars, I think that was something that was sometimes level against Overmars. On the credit side, of course, you're looking at 14 or 16 goals this season. But he's looked a bit shaky tonight, Silvino, who's had a brilliant season for me. Whether he really needs those high-tempo games.
Dixon and Lauren were rather left looking at each other for a moment then, but Lee Dixon was canny and strong enough to turn a potential crisis into nothing more than a mild raise of the eyebrow. Taken by Henry, who got a shot in the back from René Both. Hornia.
He just operates as you're on about his aerial foul ball. He just operates as a front screen when the ball's coming along down the middle. Slots into the back line there.
Long by Novotny. It's a good ball as well, which the youngster Yun was chasing.
Yeah, they're trying that ball a lot, trying to get it in the space behind Silvino. They're playing with the two strikers operating fairly wide. There it is, his first touch has let him down, but it's a super ball there from Novotny.
More news from Monte Carlo. Monaco 2, Galatasaray 0 in Group D. We've heard no goal news yet from Graz. Sturm Graz 0, Rangers 0, also in Group D tonight, but Monaco lead Galatasaray, who led that group at the start of the evening, 2-0. Vivas across well. By Silvino, gathered by Pires. Who's shrugging them off. He's making the stage his own. Lauren. Dixon. Parla. Vieira. Rosicki. Labant. Rosicki. Through by Jarosik, chased again by Rosicki. Nelson Vivas is across, his nose was straight at Labant. But whilst the ball's along the ground, as I mentioned before the game, he's a clever reader of the game, he'll always be in the right spot. Not a good ball by Jarosik, or at least a breakdown in communications with Horniak, which allowed Pires to break up that incipient move. Here's Vieira. Canu Lauren wide. Cano even looks clever when he makes a mistake. Lauren thought the throw should have been his, not so. He's got up very well there above Kinsel. Cano. Lauren. Pires. Space. Cano waiting in the middle. Here's Lauren. Oh, that's a sumptuous effort. What a lovely try by Lauren with the outside of his right boot, attempting to shape a shot which was very, very close.
Great understanding from the setters up of the two. Look, good pick out there from Pires. Lovely curling, and he just can't cut that back in enough. But some great play between Lauren and Pires again.
Kinsel. Dixon fighting away. Kinsel has turned well. Here's Thomas Rosicki. Hasek. Giving away again to Pires. Vieira. And more news from Group D, and this isn't so good from a British point of view. Sergei Yuran has scored for Sturm Graz. It's Sturm Graz 1, Rangers 0. Rangers, if they win tonight, would qualify, but Graz, as we are learning over the course of this competition, are two different clubs, home and away. And you'll see that group end, that goal and any others from that game at half-time in this game. Pires. Orniak going to earth under a push from Thierry Henry. Hasek over the top. Kinsel chasing, Luzhny away, could come back to Kinsel. Shot from Rosicki, got a touch. Corner, good effort, good shape.
Super effort. Read the header, it was a loose header from Luzhny. He's ready, picked up the little bit there, he scrambled it, he's hit it. And fortunately Vivas got in the way and has blocked it over the top. That might have been on its way, that. I mean, that's Arsenal's biggest problem now. It wasn't an easy game to get motivated for them to start with. Now 2 up. Will they get sloppy?
Labant with the left-footed corner. Seaman was struggling. Did anyone get a touch? Apparently not so.
Your big man Yarashik was right in there again. He was almost as high as Seaman's fist. Right in the pot, right in the mixer. Ooh, David, keep your eye on the ball. Bob Wilson will give you some flack. That one again, they're trying that one an awful lot, the long right-footed ball in behind Silvino.
It's the young boy Thomas Ewan, 17 years old, and a big star during the summer in the European Under-16 Championships, which were held in Israel. The Czechs won the silver medal there, and he scored 7 goals during the course of the tournament.
One to note, next few years, see how he develops.
Vivas. Luzhny. Henry. Long towards Kinsel.
He's looking for that an awful lot, Labant. He's got a sweet left foot, and he keeps trying to drop little diagonal balls over the Arsenal's first central defender. Normally to Kinsel, trying to get Kinsel in on a run.
Foul on Lauren by Labant, who's going to get a ticking off from the referee and nothing more. by Lucy. Canu holding off his man just a little too physically. His man was Horniak, who's actually the club captain of Sparta Prague, though not the team captain.
Thought he was a very good defender in Euro 96. Horniak, I made a few inquiries about him, and I think he was a chance at the time.
He and Novotny really the two that didn't leave the country after that. Ball played in towards Lauren, ostensibly by Canu. By Vieira, I beg his pardon. And the goalkeeper was able to come between the pair of them. Incidentally, seeing Patrick Vieira there, it's worth reporting some news which came from Rome tonight ahead of Lazio's game against Sparta Prague. Sinisa Mihailovic against Shakhtar Donetsk. Sinisa Mihailovic, who you will have heard was accused and admitted using racist language against Patrick Vieira, has issued an unreserved apology for the way he conducted himself that evening and has denied all racist accusations made against him in general terms.
Has he said anything about his performance against Slovenia? I thought he should have apologised to the rest of his players for that one.
Well, I won't read you exactly what he said because we'd be here till half-time, but safe to say it's a fairly humble dissertation from him. Here's Kinsel. Rosicki. Labant. Seaman came and then didn't come, and the header ultimately was from Sionko. Arsenal's goal has been threatened on more than one occasion now.
There's that left-footed diagonal again. He's not bad at that at all. He has, as I said, he's got a sweet left foot. And I actually thought when Sionko had reached that, I thought he'd just looped that over Seaman.
Arsenal perhaps could do with a bit of a wake-up call here. Jarosik's had a go. Early in the game, maybe it was a little too easy. Hasek. Vieira. Hasek again. Sionko. Running at Lushny. Tackled by the Ukrainian, but Sionko has picked up the pieces. Hasek's onto it too, and Hasek has got to the byline, and he's pulled it back for Jung, who was just disturbed as he got his finger onto the trigger by Parla tracking back. Been a dream moment for that young kid.
There's an instant there showing the different type of tempo. If that had been against Lazio last week, Vieira would have put his foot straight through the ball and he'd have cleared that 60 yards. Because it's quite a comfortable game for him, he just tried to be a little bit too cosy on it.
Labant's corner, it's another awkward one. Seaman's got a touch to it this time, and necessarily so. Those left-footed in-swingers.
Good left foot. Yeah, we talk about left-footed players in England. There's a shortage. He's got a sweet left foot, that lad.
Makes you think again of Mihailovic, actually. Wolf is forward.
I don't want to think about Mihailovic.
This time it's going to be a right-footed delivery from Thomas Rosicki.
You know, if they're not careful,
target from Horniak.
Yeah, there's a goal on the cards here. If they're not careful, Arsenal. They haven't really upped the tempo, Sparta Prague, but they've got themselves involved more. And okay, Keown Adams missing and so forth, but you don't expect to see people get headers against the Arsenal. Good delivery, gone deep. There's a crowd in front of them, and well, maybe Dixon would have got earned his money there on the post.
Yun. Canu. Labant. By Yun again. And one by Jarosik, who has a clear run at goal here. It's Yuri Jarosik, and it's Nelson Vivas who's done heroically well. And David Seaman is permitted to pick that up. You can hardly call it a back pass. Great tackle by Vivas.
Vivas, cardinal error as a defender. Your last man, you don't get caught in possession. For full marks, he's rectified that. I thought Jarosik took a bit of time over that, by the way. I thought he should have let the shot off earlier. Fabinho's touch, I mean, it's just not at the races tonight. He's had an outstanding season.
Well, it's funny, if you're going to pick your Arsenal Champions League player so far this season, you'd probably pick him, maybe Freddie Ljungberg. 2-0 to Arsenal on the night, two very early goals from Ray Parlour and from Lauren. And incidentally, in Monte Carlo, they're just flying in. It's now Monaco 4, Galatasaray 1 in Rangers group. Rangers trailing. Here's Ray Parlour for Arsenal. Laban going back. Henry. Good bodily strength, which wasn't sufficient to keep him on his feet under two challenges.
Just looking at the big fella, Kanu, you and I both, we think he's terrific to watch, don't we? Watching him today, he's a little bit lethargic and his body language being good. You know, once or twice you think he's been easy. I like to see when he looks as if he's got a smile on his face and he's enjoying the game.
Pires. Parlour. He's had another goal. Oh. He's sharpened the shooting boots tonight, Ray Parlour, and he fancied that top corner again.
He's not trying to catch Martin Keown up, is he? Some way down in the stakes. That's another good shot. And if they back off like that and invite him to have a pop, he's shown he's going to have one.
Labant. Kinsel. Silva couldn't take it. From David Seaman. Henry's first touch was good enough. It's taken him away from Novotny. Second took him away from Rosicki, who nibbled away at his ankle and conceded a free kick to Arsenal.
Just thinking, if the game had been 0-0, white-hot atmosphere, when Henry went round the keeper off that back pass from Novotny, he'd have scored, wouldn't he?
Silvinho, who scored in Prague with the free kick. Kanu, one of his natural targets. Henry was climbing with René Bolf. Now then, a fortnight tonight. ITV will be proud to bring you a thrilling denouement to the first group's stages involving the other two English clubs. From 7:30, we major on Manchester United, who have to beat Dynamo Kiev at Old Trafford. Des and the gang will be there. And in the Yorkshire region and on ITV2, you will see Leeds after the point that they need in the San Siro. That is a fortnight tonight on ITV. And then this Saturday, or prior to that, this Saturday on the ball, Gabby, Barry and John Barnes, all the weekend issues, 1:10 Saturday lunchtime. Details on that and the whole wide world of football on our website, www.itv-football.co.uk.
Yeah, that last day threatens to be something really great, doesn't it? Just think there's no way we can do both games at the same time, is there? We'll go to both games at the same time. It'd be brilliant, particularly after last night. Some game at Leeds.
Oh, that's fantastic. Just reinforced the idea, we've got some good goalkeepers about coming through. And Stuart Taylor here at Arsenal is one of those. Incidentally, you talk to David Seaman or John Lukic or Bob Wilson about him. And they'll tell you he's going to be handed away from Novotny and still going, well, it was probably a necessary challenge, Novotny will tell you. He's also intent on implying to the referee that Kanu was too easily tipped over. Look at the way he ran away from Rosicki, rubber-limbed.
It's a foul, definitely a foul. Not necessarily a malicious one or even a cynical one, but it's a foul.
A year ago, we'd have assumed that Dennis Bergkamp would run up at this one. In his absence, Thierry Henry is an option. Silvinho is the left-footed option. Ray Parlour is square, and so too is Robert Pires. Which one?
Henry made Marcagiani work in the last one.
Henry! 3-0! It's the skipper. Lee Dixon, broad smile.
I tell you what, he follows in at both ends, doesn't he? He anticipated the one and cleared it off the line when Seaman touched it on the bar. He's got his due there. There's the thief, parried it. Oh, Johnny on the spot, Lee Dixon. Lee never misses from here. Look at his anticipation, full marks. top striker.
That's a really nice moment. So still, Sylvain Wiltord, the only out-and-out striker to score for Arsenal in the Champions League. 3-0 up tonight. Keown a couple, Ljungberg a couple, Silvino, and now Lee Dixon. How many's Kanu got, and how many's Henry got? It's a weird state of affairs. I bet there's some ribbing goes on in the dressing room on that sort of topic. Dixon. Horniak. Vieira. Henry. Kanu's all alone if Henry can find him.
Did nothing for him. It was an awful ball from Henry, to be fair. Kanu did nothing for him at all there. I think he was waiting for him to make some sort of movement, and in the end he lost his focus.
Rosicky. Hasek. Jarosik. Silva. And Silvino out.
You were saying about Ashley Cole coming on. I think it could be very soon, couldn't it? Probably leave it till half-time now, but it's a wonderful opportunity for the Arsenal manager to blood one or two.
Why not? Why not give Matthew Upson a chance to get back into it after nearly a year out of the game?
Why not take two off and try and make a game of it?
Horniak. Kinsel. Young going in there and Luzhny going back. And conceding a corner.
I don't think Vivas has missed the header yet. I think he's won every aerial battle.
That Sparta have had 4 corners.
They've had a bit of problems with this, didn't it? He overhits them a little bit. Sticks. I think if Sparta stuck somebody right around the back post, they might have a better. Oh, he's gone close on this one.
Rees was the header out. Shape volley from Libor Sionko. Seaman behind it. Here's Lee Dixon, goal scorer. Kanu. Vieira. Kanu. Good ball. Silvino. Sionko, who is a fixture in the Czech international side now. Rosicky, who soon will be. Sionko, well worked.
He scores the threat from wide areas, and he certainly showed he could thrust through the middle there a little bit. It's unlucky for the young midfield player. Rosicky gets in, can't just twist his body around enough to tuck it away.
50-50 possession. Isn't that interesting? Arsenal have been so much in charge.
I was just thinking Arsenal haven't really, apart from Henry, they haven't really missed a chance, have they?
No.
It seems it's gone through 4 times. I mean, they've always got 3. They look to me as if they've got 3 more gears at least to play with, but there's Big Vivas again. Big Nelson's been penalised this time.
If that was in the playground, Kinsel would have been sent to detention for bullying. But the free kick's given against Nelson Vivas. Rosicky by the free kick. Labant, we've seen, can strike them left-footed. And Yuri Jarosik is the big blonde boy wearing 20 behind the ball as well. Rosicky. Oh, Seaman spilled it. Kinsel's in.
Yes, penalty. Definitely.
And it is a penalty.
The irony of all that was, before the...
And it's booked David Seaman.
Oh, I mean, this is a spoon. This is right down his throat. That is elementary, my dear Seaman. But I tell you what, for me, the ironic thing on that was, I'm always advocating people on the line, and Lee Dixon's got back on the line to protect it. It was the tamest shot that Seaman's probably had to face.
Vladimir Labant conceded a penalty last week against Shakhtar. David Seaman hasn't faced one since the UEFA Cup final shootout. Labant, it's 3-1. Firm, well hit and not undeserved. There are 93 Czech supporters in that section, I can reveal to you.
Good penalty, good body shape. Seaman thinks he's going to tuck it towards his left and he just plonks it in there nicely. I think he's got his eyes on the keeper as well, wait until Seaman moves. But that may be a little bit typical. I mean, the 3 up, but that's sloppy goalkeeping. He wouldn't have let that in last week at Lazio. Well, he wouldn't have, because Lukic was playing. But in a game with big atmospheres, the adrenaline would have saved that alone.
Well, David Seaman would have hated that moment. It's a question of concentration, I suppose, on a night like this when it seems so easy. Lauren. Dixon. Canu.
I think this fella's got to get himself into the game more, Canu.
Lauren. Parler. Dixon. Parler.
Pity that fizzled out there, because that was some great passing from one side of the field to the other. Must have been a dozen passes or so, and it's a pity Parler couldn't have produced the final ball there.
Parler. Luzhny. Henry. Vieira. Luzhny. Forward towards Kinsel. Now try this for a scoreline run. In Rome it's Lazio 0, Shakhtar Donetsk 1. Vorobye, who was the last man to score against David Seaman in the Champions League game at that end, has scored the goal for Shakhtar.
The 2 little strikers weren't bad that day, were they, early on in the game? Shakhtar. But I'd be amazed if that scoreline stayed like that. Although Lazio do give you the impression that they're nervous because of the expectancy on them.
By the way, they could still qualify Shakhtar if they pull that off.
Good job. Honestly.
Yeah. Because they would then have to beat Arsenal next week, and it could happen. Especially if Arsenal did rest 1 or 2.
You're not suggesting they want Lazio out, Arsenal?
Surely not. Another interesting development from this game. Arsenal, I'm learning, have asked whether they can change into yellow shirts at half-time. They're uncomfortable with this blue.
There is when I think it was Pires gave the ball away early, wasn't it? There is something about the 2 shirts, whilst one is red and the other's almost a referee's colour, dark blue. There is a sort of, at first glance, particularly in night games, they possibly could mistake the shirts.
They are a bit similar. Referee's going to have to change as well if Arsenal wear yellow.
Well, he can borrow one of the Arsenal shirts.
Don't you remember Manchester United's famous grey at the Dell?
Yeah, but they weren't 3 up at the time, were they?
No. Quite the opposite, I think.
It's funny, people will probably saying, one's red and one's black, but sometimes when the players just get a glimpse, I know they've got different coloured socks and different shirts. Needs to win this, big Nelson.
By Dixon, the flag's up. There's a little bit of afters. And even on a night when Arsenal are winning at a stroll, and when he's got a rare goal, Lee Dixon is sufficiently pumped up to be peaked when he feels he's been fouled. Borniak in at the back of Henry.
Strange how people will probably be saying, it's a Champions League game, players should be wound up, this, that and the other, and they probably are in their own mind, they try to be, but even the crowd, that should be a free kick, I think, I think he grappled him there a little bit. But even the crowd, you sense a, if you like, lethargic, can't they? The crowd aren't thumping. They'd probably cheering their heads off if he went to 3 each.
Half time. Well, the word that springs to mind is routine. Absolutely routine for Arsenal. Ray Parlour's goal was anything but that. A terrific hit in 5 minutes. Laurent made it 2-0 only a couple of minutes after that. Lee Dixon hit his first goal of the season from very close range, 10 minutes from the break. And then David Seaman conceded a penalty which was thumped home by Labant to give Prague the goal that their performance so far probably deserves. We're all off to change our shirts. Des and Glenn will be back after the break.
BMW X5, the ultimate sports activity vehicle. At Blockbuster, we believe that everyone should be able to bring home the film they want. Tonight, take home the widely acclaimed Gladiator, starring Russell Crowe, who fights for more than his life. He fights for revenge. And because we buy more copies than anyone else, you'll get it now or rent it free next time. Blockbuster, bringing entertainment home.
What'll it be like to be old?
You mean to be an old couple?
Do old couples still hold hands?
Do they still snog?
Do they kiss and make up?
Do they still have the same appetites?
If you'll always have an appetite for life, you might want the help of one of Britain's largest pension providers, Norwich Union.
What will it be like to be old?
As good as this, I hope.
Together we're stronger. Norwich Union.
This week at IBM.com, Mike the lawyer's here from corporate to make sure we don't overpromise on a new ThinkPad T20. This thing is light, it's durable, it has an Intel Pentium 3 processor, which smokes, man. It's got titanium composite cover, a very cool keyboard light. You can order this bad boy from IBM.com, and I know the guys who used to pick on you in high school, not anymore, baby, no, because the ladies are gonna be all over you. You can dance all of a sudden.
Only on digital shows all of the UEFA Champions League. Don't miss a thing. On digital, more matches than anyone. Call 0808 100 0101.
Where were you? I suppose you've been with her, have you?
I want you to take me off the inquiry.
You think we're going to find him like this, do you?
Why has he had all the luck?
Because I don't.
explosive command.
Counting the costs of violent crime.
I am.
Roskamp stars in Without Motive. Sunday at 9. ITV.
Well, we've had some fun and games here in the first half with Arsenal leading Sparta Prague by 3-1. It's the defences that aren't playing very well. Arsenal's defence isn't playing too well either.
No, they've gone to sleep, haven't they, after the first 20 minutes where they came out full guns blazing, but they've just switched off in the last 20 minutes there, and they've given Sparta a little glimmer of hope.
That's what our viewers, our fans want. Lots of goals and great fun. I mean, the first 9 minutes, 2 goals had already gone in. Let's have a look at the first one.
Yeah, I mean, it was a terrific goal. This was the best goal of the night. I mean, look at the move. Beautiful football, created with movement. First touch, good movement there, slides the ball into Parlour, and what a strike this is so early in the game. What unstoppable from the keeper.
You don't see space like that normally,
well, no,
do you?
They've earned the space by creating it, but it was out of his feet. The first touch was out of his feet, unlike the England goal, possible goal when he hit the bar. Second goal, Perez, a little 1-2, looks up, watch him glance up here. He just has a glance, and Laurent's just slid off the back of the defender, come off the defender, and I think that's his first touch in 7 minutes, Laurent, and he scored the goal. It's a terrific little finish. But then you think, well, there could be a hammer in here for Sparta.
Yeah. Well, Laurent's got an Olympic gold medal, which he won with Cameroon, so he's having a good time at the moment.
He's happy with life, I would imagine, at the moment.
Now, Dixon's had an eventful first half one way or another. First of all, he scores, which we'll see again here.
Well, look at this. This is that striker Dixon, as we know him. You know, I mean, this is strikers form. And Henri's, had the free kick. It's a poor bit of goalkeeping. And to be fair to Lee, he's gone in there like a striker and finished off a great evening for him. He's captain tonight, and he's been very influential in the game, as we'll see in a minute.
He never loses his appetite for the game, Dixon, does he?
He's a terrific pro, and week in and week out, puts in a 7 or 8 out of 10 every week.
So, as you say, he was very much involved in that part. This happened right at the beginning of the match.
Look at this. Yeah, these incidents changes football matches. Sparta would have gone up, 1-0 up here, and that's a definite handball. Referee hasn't seen it. Look at the reaction of the coach. Watch this reaction. You didn't see the players react.
The players didn't react. Why was that?
If the players react like that, then they might have got that penalty. Here's a fantastic save from Dave Seaman. It's his side, but there he is, Captain Marvellous again. Dixon following in.
Again, he was the quickest off the mark.
Here he goes. Look, no striker coming in. He's reacted superbly well, and he's hooked it away, and everything's happened round him. Yeah. Even here, this is the penalty. Look, now Dixon's had the thought to go back on the line. Now, interesting thing is, and there's the lad in the back, I'll just finish in a minute, a nice tuck away. If he doesn't go back on the line, would David Seaman have been sent off?
If he was last man?
Not last man. And I mean, the fact that Dixon's gone back in there possibly has kept David on the pitch.
Yeah. They are missing the central defence, aren't they, Arsenal, a little bit? I know they're 3-1 up, but I mean, against a better team, they might look...
They've gone to sleep on numerous occasions, and as you say, with better finishing in the side, they might have scored. The corners, for instance, Keown and Adams, all year, every game they're there and they're putting their head and clearing things. Sparta have had about 4 chances from corners, and they've looked dangerous from corners. I mean, if they come out and get a second, then that's going to be game. It's going to be game on. Yeah. But the yellow shirts might do it for Arsenal.
Yeah, they're going to change the shirts. Right, let's catch up on what's happening in Austria as Rangers take on Sturm Graz. Peter Brackley's there.
Still Ronald de Boer, but he dwelt too long in possession. Now the counter-attack from Sturm Graz. Prelaznik. Played in towards Juran. It's a real chance for him. Sergei Juran! And that was finishing of the highest quality. Well, he's had his critics down the years, but he's reminded us there of what a predator he can be in front of goal. A little bit sloppy then, Sturm Graz. Newman hoping to make them pay for it. And here's Tugay with another side of goal. And Kuchelskis. It's well beaten away though by Schickelgruber. Got his body right behind it to narrow the angle.
So Rangers a goal down in that one. If they win it, if they turn around that match, then they will go through. And the other match in Arsenal's group, there's a shock score. You heard it already, I think. Donetsk winning there by a 1-0. If Sparta Prague were to turn this round here, they would still be very much in it. But they're 3-1 down at the moment against Arsenal. I'll have a few bob with you. I bet there'll be some more goals in the second half.
All right, how you doing? Up with the birds? Right, now what I'm doing at the moment is, what we're doing, rather, at Sky, is upgrading people's homes to digital television. Yeah. That's one of mine, actually, over there. What happens is that people call us up. What's the number? Yeah, 08702 42 42 42. And I install a free mini dish and digibox. It's nice to think that I've sort of brightened up a few people's lives. For your free mini dish and digibox, why don't you give us a ring on 08702 42 42 42 or nip down to your local electrical retailer.
At PC World, people really do count. Because more people shop with us, we can have more people to help you. We've PC clinics in every store for advice, upgrades, and our complete PC health checks to keep your PC in peak condition for life. And we're still stamping down on prices. Before and after you buy, you can count on us.
Where in the world, PC World?
No two eyes see the same world. No two businesses are identical. There's a company that creates internet solutions unique to you.
Fujitsu. The possibilities are infinite.
Imagine a world where everything is protected. The new look Citroën Zara is available with 6 airbags, variable power-assisted steering, and ABS with electronic brake force distribution. Travel in a safer world.
To find out how easy it is to register for online banking, come into any branch and we'll do it for you. Or simply click on lloydstsb.com.
2 hours till I meet Susie and I still can't think of anywhere to take her. Free gig at the Blue Room. Perfect.
I wonder how the takeover will affect the share price. Excellent. I better email Andrew with the news.
Of course I haven't forgotten, darling. No, it's a surprise. Okay, yeah, bye. Amsterdam. Nice one.
Stay one step ahead with the internet on your mobile. Surf the net, surf the BT Cell net. Call 0800 40 50 30.
You're the wrong guy in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now you're going to pay the penalty. This is just the beginning.
Die Hard 2, Friday 9, ITV.
You think he was tipped off?
Only our team knew who the target was.
The Knock, Saturday, 9:05, ITV.
Arsenal leading Sparta Prague 3-1 here at half-time. You're going to see a different Arsenal this half because they're going to be wearing different colour shirts, yellow shirts. And you can understand why, Glenn, can't you? Because both were wearing those dark shirts. It was confusing.
Very much so. I think it was a ball that Perez passed. He just looked up, glanced and knocked a ball out to one of their players. And we said when they walked out the tunnel, we couldn't believe that they were playing in them colours tonight, yeah.
Thanks, Glenn. We're all set then for the second half. 3-1 up Arsenal at the moment. Ron Atkinson and Peter Drew.
Thank you, Des. There they are, the yellow shirts, and those aren't the only things to change. Arsenal are making an alteration at left back. It's one we did anticipate. Silvino perhaps not 100% fit, but regardless of that, it's a chance to give Ashley Cole here, young left back of great promise, a home debut and a European debut. He comes on That is one change, and a change also for the Sparta Prague side. Number 27, Radek Minar, comes on in place of the youngster Thomas Yun, whom the game really passed by before the break. So an alteration on either side. Minar, who you saw then, was excellent actually in the first half in Prague against Arsenal, then rather ran out of steam. We'll see what he has to offer tonight. Confirmation, as we see Ashley Cole for the first time, that it's Silvino's ankle injury that caused him to go off. And there is Minar. He was really terrific running down the right-hand side from full back in the initial meeting. He's playing on the right side of midfield tonight, but had a very, very good hour, and then appeared exhausted and had to be replaced. Lauren. Recent history is anything to go by. Next week will be the one when we learn a bit more about one or two of Arsenal's up-and-comers. It is, of course, Worthington Cup week. That is when Arsene Wenger tends to give them a chance. Arsenal are at home to Ipswich. It's when the manager comes over, all avuncular, and gives the youngsters a go. Probably also more youthful opportunities the following week in Donetsk, provided Arsenal don't make a pig's ear of the rest of this evening. The signs are that they won't. Pires. Parle. Lauren. And Minar for the first time against Cole for the first time, and Cole won the battle. Two freshest, sharpest players on the field. Henry trying to feed back in Ashley Cole, whose goal-scoring rate is, of course, exemplary this season. Played one, scored one. Remember, he got a goal at Valley Parade Bradford on his only appearance. Poor chap, he's played 3 times in the first team, and he's never got near to a home supporter. He's played at Bradford, Middlesbrough and Newcastle.
Great opportunity this evening, though, isn't it? Game, unless they do anything stupid, already won. It looks as if there'll be plenty of opportunities for him to surge forward.
It's become almost a cliche to point out that an English left-back is a precious commodity. Jamie Clapham at Ipswich is starting to get a mention or two now. Minar. By Novotny, aimed at Kinsel, with a kin in the air by Vivas. Luzhny. Nice little sandwich up the line for Pires.
Looks as if Sionko's going to play a lot more. He kept well on the flank in the first half. In the second half, it looks as if he's going to go more on a roving commission. Just tuck off inside, just move inside, and allow Minar to come down the right flank.
Kinsel came to get Minar's throw. Cole concedes another one. There are some at the clock end who disagree with the decision. It was signed when Milan Foucault went off to Hamburg to replace Thomas Gravesen, who went to Everton. It's Minar's throw. Kinsel's little flick. Came through to Sionko. Seaman was quickly off his line. The flag was up anyway. There were 2 of them. Seaman won the race in any case. Sionko, the most obvious offender.
Well, he could cause more damage in there. He's going to play just off the striker. He could cause a little bit of damage there because he has shown a willingness to burst, and he's got he's made 1 or 2 good forward runs, normally off the flank, but I don't think he need much discouraging from running through.
Dixon long. Lauren tried to get onto it. Novotny across. Czech international. Of course, Czech international football's on a high just now. Perfect qualification for Euro 2000, where they were very unlucky to lose to Frank de Boer's last-minute penalty for Holland, and to lose 2-1 to France in Bruges. Thierry Henry scored that day. They did beat Denmark 2-0. Began World Cup qualification well as well against Bulgaria and Iceland, but had a shocker in Malta where they only had a 0-0. Here's Henry for Arsenal. Pires forced away, clever back heel. Cole to re-deliver. Rosicki. Kinsel down the line, Rosicki chasing. Dixon going back. Usually well stationed. Vivas, Carr. Vieira. Ground opening up in front of him. And then he and Henry proved to be on different planes, but Loren has it back. Henry.
Yeah, sometimes you can do that, you know, when a game can be too easy for you. Give it away in the knowledge that you can win it back quickly. And I think, you know, it was really all about Henry, though, wasn't it? The turn in midfield, the driving run, the acceleration. Keeper, actually, he didn't get the full cutback. The keeper helps it to him. Cano, to be fair, I thought he was going to miss this, you know. At one time, I know he's got his comical feet where he gets it. I thought he trapped it under his feet, but no. Beautiful. That's the key for me. When he turns, races, knocks it into the space, Novotny nowhere. Keeper helps it, just takes the pace off the ball, and I'm not going to miss that for my opening goal.
His 5th goal in European football. His strike rate in the European game is oddly very, very thin. Only 4 in 41 games for Inter and Ajax at Arsenal prior to tonight, which compares very unfavourably with the likes of Henry and Bergkamp. And I don't use that statistic to do him down in any sense. It's just a bit of a contradiction given the guy's great talent, but he's got one tonight. And Arsenal are back in the comfort zone, if indeed they ever left it.
I'll tell you what I thought was nice as well, you know. Henry's made the goal. That was all about Henry for me, that goal. But as soon as Cano has scored, Henry he's almost as delighted as if he scored the goal. I think that speaks volumes for the spirit there.
Dennis Bergkamp could still be unleashed, if needs be. Actually, on the North Bank at the moment, they're singing Dennis Bergkamp's name. Presumably the idea is to convince him that it is worthwhile staying. Oh yeah, that's a good tackle by Cole. A bloke trying to make his reputation here. Henry. Bit of zip in the game again now. Henry. Lucky bounce or two, a little bit of extravagance. A glimpse of goal, shot at goal, just wide.
Gets a little bit lucky, doesn't he, when he attempts it back here, or he bounds in his breath. A little bit of afters here, you know, he plays that. See Minea, he just saw it in the corner picture there. Minea just blocked off Pires, and I thought there was going to be an altercation there.
A rear box of tricks alongside Cano. Plenty of deft touches between them, unsurprisingly in row. Dixon. Parla. Hasek across. Smashing goal from him at the start of the evening. You're just joining us, it was a 25-30 yarder ping into the top corner. And Lee Dixon has scored on the night as well, to great general jollity. Pires working the line.
Must be nice for the Arsenal camp and Arsene Wenger. I think that might be a foul throw, actually. I think Pires might have been a little bit too close to the good little idea throwing it on his back, but I think it might have been a foul throw. Looks as if Dixon took his hands right around his neck there. No, it's just about to make the point. It must be great for the Arsenal camp, you know, that they've coasted into the second group after the trials and tribulations of the previous 2 years.
Henry. The band stood up well. Cole away. 10 minutes into the second half. Arsenal 4, Sparta Prague 1. And it's not the bravest prediction in the world to suggest that Arsenal are likely to win their group. Great achievement for Arsene Wenger, who started this campaign saying he wanted to take out the frustrations of the last 2 years on it. Just hurt himself a bit going in with the sliding challenge. Kinsel is inconvenienced by it as well. The two have had a very healthy battle for the duration of the evening.
He's won it. It's a very, very good little good tackle there from Vivas.
In by Labant, header from Jarosik.
I'm looking at Kinsel there, the centre forward. I just wonder whether he's looking for the sympathy vote there a little bit. And if he looks to the bench quickly, it means he'll want to come up.
Well, poor Chevy hasn't had a great time against Arsenal. He looked rather ungainly in Hasek's lineup over in Prague on match day 1. Ball didn't quite bounce for him. And here he is again, trying to run off the hobble. And playing a smart ball through for Sionko here. It's Libor Sionko. And David Seaman stood up expertly for what seemed an age there before finally plunging at his near post to deny Sparta Prague a second goal.
Made a rick for the goal. But this is a brilliant save because he's opened himself up, he's round him. That's great agility. Stayed against it, doesn't give himself up, and then when he's had to be called upon to make a great save, he's made one.
That's 2 good saves on the night to set against the mistake for Sparta Prague penalty. There's Labant's corner. Jarosik with the header, off the line by Dixon. And Cano escapes.
I think where Labant causes him some problems, he hits it well beyond the centre of the goal. And he's still travelling. And there it is again, well beyond, and very difficult to defend, particularly as we say, if you're lacking your 2 major central defenders.
Lee Dixon, I would have thought would want to bottle this game. As a reminder of a night where he's got absolutely everything right. Novotny. Wolf and now Hornick. Pretty awful ball from Mina. He did used to play for Dukla Prague, the old army team, now known as Marilla Pribram. Aston Villa played them in the Intertoto Cup sometime in midsummer. Rosicki. Over the top for Mina, who checks his run to stay on side. Cole is going back with him.
Good agility from Cole there, you know. Made sure he didn't foul. And this is the sight people like. Wide players running with the ball. They've driven him in field, but he's got a pass on. Oh, it's the wrong option.
Change shirt again. Here's Jarosik. Rosicki. Sionko. Last night, Paris Saint-Germain became the first team in Champions League history to score 7 goals in a game. Feeling that if Arsenal really wanted to, they could challenge that here. Parler driving forward. Stealing Jarosik's legs away from beneath him.
I think if there'd been more heat in the game and maybe a referee that was less lenient, I think Parler could have gone in the book for that.
Rosicki. Good ball. Kinsel. That isn't especially. Still comes to Labant. It's faced by Lee Dixon. Rosicki. Kinsel. Flag was up.
That has been their most dangerous move when they switch it over to the left back area. And looking at Kinsel there, switch it, I don't think he should have been offside here. I think he definitely has got himself into an offside position, but I think that was totally unnecessary. Looking along the line, he's the last man. He can take his position off the last defender.
And he won it well for Henri. Pan. Pires. Tackle by Mina.
Yeah, good defending now. Ran alongside him and made sure that there's no danger with his sliding tackle.
Luzhny. Out by Novotny. Held up by Hasek. Darting through the gap was Rosicki, who's played a peach of a ball for Sionko. Inside of Vivas, Sionko with a shot, goal kick. Excellent ball from Rosicki, wide for Sionko.
Yeah, terrific play. Reverse ball. Sionko, as I say, he looks happy up the middle. He looks, if he likes, we're running a little bit free, and here's the Rose. Pires being hooked up.
Dennis Bergkamp is coming on. He does still play for Arsenal, and the Arsenal fans still appreciate him hugely, as indeed they do Robert Pires, who's been a central figure in this Champions League success so far. But Dennis Bergkamp is still a crowd favourite. Listen to that. The message he sends is, please stay, Dennis.
I think all the signs are that he wants to, doesn't he?
I'm sure he does. You never know how much gossip is fact, do you? I think they'll sit down and bang a few heads together and come up with some figures. Here's Sionko. Foul on him by Parler, who again escapes any further retribution. Kinsel, out of our view, seems to have got hurt facially as well as hobbling, rather. So Sparta Prague are without him for this free kick, forward for which is Horniak. Jarosik is a target too. It's Horniak they're aiming at the back post to no avail. Now the natural order of things has been restored in Rome. Lazio now lead Shakhtar Donetsk by 3-1 on top of a goal for Claudio Lopez, one for the fullback Favali, and another for the Argentine Veron. It's 3-1 Lazio.
So I suppose that means Eriksen's not taking the England job for a bit longer. At half-time, he was probably phones going and all sorts. That's a foul that should have been.
Get me Crozier, he said to his assistant. Mancini was on the phone. Here's Rosicki. Anyway, it's going to be Arsenal and Lazio, isn't it? But they can't meet, just to reiterate, they can't meet in the next round. Neither can Arsenal meet Manchester United and or Leeds, should those two progress. Here's hoping. Mina.
I think that's the beauty of the Champions League, the way it's, I know there's criticism about the three teams and all that going in from each country and what have you, but invariably, you know, when you get to the last 8, there's not some good quality sides in there. You know, it's mouth-watering just to think of who's in there.
Jarosik. Horniak. It's a funny sensation, Ron, you should mention that. Of course, we're all very, very keen to see Leeds progress after their heroic efforts last night. But of course, should they do so, then Barcelona won't.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think they should give Barcelona a bye anyway, put them in there, because it's great to have them in there as well.
All good wishes to Leeds. Fantastic last night.
I think you have to say, regardless of if they, you know, I think that, well, we think they're well capable of getting something in Milan, but if they didn't, you could still say they've had a decent campaign.
Hasek, Minar, Lauren, Henri, Vieira, Luzhny. Canu. Parla. Lee Dixon, I'm sure he'd be wishing David O'Leary well. Also, they played alongside each other a few times. Shove in Rosicki's back by Lee Dixon. Good ball by Rosicki, and Minar is onto it. Got inside of Cole to Rosicki's pass, but Cole did terrifically well to backtrack and to time his tackle as impeccably as he did.
Yeah, from there on you would have thought he's not in with a prayer, but he's timed it exceptionally well. You might say Minar should have released it earlier, but I bet he can't believe that Cole's got back across him like that.
Thanks corner, Seaman got a second chance to grab hold of it. And now Parla is streaming away with Bergkamp ahead of him. A goal from Dennis Bergkamp would be massively popular tonight.
He's probably still the best finisher at Arsenal. I don't say he'll get the most goals, but I think if he's in the right situation, he'll probably score easily or better than any of them.
Luzhny, Bergkamp. From deep behind Canu and Henri, the way things are shaping up at the moment. Now by Jurosic. Vieira took the free kick quickly. Canu had space to turn. And then to feed in Lauren. It's a good challenge by Jurosic, perfectly clean.
He's still strong. There's just a few little words come between him and Lauren.
Hasek. Sionko, Kinsel through the middle. Hasek going across him there in a scissors run. Rosicki. Oh! Well, that was a bit Billy Smart.
It was quite amusing afterwards. Bibas looked at him and said, "What's the problem?" "No problem."
Canu. Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp.
Good interplay there, Canu and Bergkamp. Just got forced a little bit wide, Bergkamp. There. That's a good turn.
Sionko. Labant hasn't given up the chase. Vieira's got across. I'd always advise any player to hurdle a tackle from Patrick Vieira.
By about 25 yards, I would think. I noticed that tonight, whether his reputation's gone before him. Because once or twice he now wins the ball by just the sheer presence alone without having to challenge for the ball.
Cole.
Good ball. Great ball. Great footwork beforehand, Cole. Two little dummies.
It may not be long before an England side includes 3 Coles. Ashley, Andy and Joe. Rosicki. Across a little bit untidy, no problem for Dixon. Lauren. Challenged by Wolf on Bergkamp. Silva will tour. He's going to come on for Arsenal. And it's going to be a French exchange. Thierry Henry is being withdrawn. Still no Champions League goal for that Frenchman. 6 of his goals in domestic competition, still hugely appreciated, of course, by those in the North Bank and at the clock end.
I think he quite fancies the idea of staying on, you know. think he fancied that he might break that little spell.
This guy's got a bit of a cult following now as well, all the comparisons with good old Righty. The live wire apparently has a great sense of humour. And he's got a couple of goals as well this year. And they, let's face it, are the currency of the game. Here is Ashley Cole. Dixon.
Couple of healthy sides, isn't it, with the way Cole's playing tonight, and then the, as you said earlier about the goalkeeper last night at Leeds. The nice little pluses for people involved with the England side, but let's see what...
Sionko. Turning away from Luzhny. Reading it back for Rosicki. Here's Hasek. Rosicki again. Labant outside of him. This though is Jarosik. Jarosik's had a pop. That threatened the clock.
That threatened Big Ben. I don't know about the clock.
Here's how the clock will have seen it. Rosicki. That's the balance and poise of a player. You can see why they rate him highly. This is Sionko.
That's good defending, that. Brilliant defending. Typical Latin defending, if you like, making sure he gets his body well into the player and then just rolls the play around. But certainly, I mean, Rosicki's been one of their best players. I think I like the look of Labant, the number 3, the left wing back, and the biggest threat, I suppose, has been Sionko. First when he was playing in a wide position, and then since he's been thrusting up the middle a little bit.
But they aren't the side, Sparta, really, that got into the second phase last year, did so fantastically well. They lost 4 of the stars of that team to the Bundesliga over the summer. Milan Foucault to Hamburg, Peter Gabriel to Kaiserslautern, and a couple of strikers to Cologne and Kaiserslautern again. It's a core, really. Those are the stars of the team. Now, Cole went in on Minar there. Although I've got a feeling when we see this back, it's not going to look very nice. I'm quite sure that Ashley Cole, just by the way he reacted, didn't mean to cause Minar the pain that he is clearly enduring. It's going to be interesting to see this. Well, it doesn't look good. You've got to say there was a stud against the knee, but I want to believe that a young player like Cole was just late for the ball then. What do you think, Ron? I want to believe...
Right in front of us, my first reaction was that Cole thought he was going to play the ball back. I don't think he thought... I think he threw him a little bit when he was going to turn him, and I was a little bit surprised to see how much pain Minar's gone down in. I'm not so sure he did catch him quite as much. He hasn't whacked him.
Well,
yeah,
who knows what's going on? He's caught him, but who knows what's going on in his head?
He's good. I think the initial problem was that I thought he was just going to drop the ball back to Horniak. He's got close to make sure he can't turn him, and he showed a fair bit of skill there. I always think, you know, when they go down like he went down, as if somebody sort of shot him, that he should be on a stretcher and off to the nearest hospital. Now he's on again. Well, you know, if he has to run and go up, I'll hold my hand up. If all of a sudden he makes an acceleration down the flank, I have to say he's got a low pain threshold. The other thing you've got to take into account, looking at the scoreline, 4-1 or whatever, you know, you think, well, if it was 0-0, if they're holding on to a lead here at Highbury, would his adrenaline be a lot higher and what have you? Go on, what do you think now? He's limping. His limp, is he quickening his limp?
The Yellow card against Ray Parlour there. It has been coming.
Actually thought he might have got taken up a little bit earlier, Ray Parlour, but...
Foul on Hasek.
Yeah.
Second of the competition. I'll suspect there'll be one or two of the Arsenal team who won't go to Donetsk in a couple of weeks, and he probably would be one of them. Labant over the free kick. Headed down by Kinsel. Stevens stayed. Cole got it away. Rosicki couldn't get it back in. Parlour gave it away again to Labant. Oh! Player's gone down right on the corner of the penalty area. Referee's first indication suggests that Dixon's indiscretion was just outside the box. Sionko was the fouled player.
Kidded him here though with this turn. Labant lays it into his run. A lovely little turn here.
It was outside.
Just about outside, yeah, it falls in the box. But that's good football there, look. He's kidded Dixon.
I'll tell you what, if the groundsman had smeared the white line, that could...
or even if the ref had been a little bit further away. Ref was bang on the spot there.
This is millimetres from the edge of the penalty area, and it's Thomas Rosicki. He's a super little player who's over the free kick. Good one. But, into the side netting. It went quiet, didn't it?
I think there's quite a few Arsenal fans, and I think we might have been included in that.
Correct.
But, hey, that might just have crept in. It's just glanced across the outside of the post.
I didn't want to shout because I thought they might hear me. Crowd went absolutely silent. Cole. Dixon. Vieira. The drop of the shoulder didn't quite come off. Nino away. And a chance to point up to you a special night for ITV Football, a fortnight from now, November the 8th, when we're going to bring you the climax to the two other English campaigns in the first group stage of the Champions League. We major on Manchester United against Dynamo Kiev. Des and the chaps at Old Trafford from 7:30 for that game in the Yorkshire region, and on ITV2 it's AC Milan against Leeds from the San Siro. Leeds need a point, Manchester United need a win. 2 weeks from now. Suffice to say, both venues will be noisier than this one. Cross, but a foul on Kanu. Porniak was right at his back.
Yeah, he's been hanging on to him on all those throw-ins, and actually Novotny had done well there. For the first time, he got himself in front of the thrower, of the receiver.
And the right guy's on to take the free kick now. Bergkamp over it with Kanu in the 6-yard box, Vieira at the back post, Loren in there as well. Over the top of Kanu. And the referee's assistant indicated a corner.
It just got the faintest touch. I think it was by Labant. Just got little eyebrows on it that carries it above everybody.
Kinsel in actual fact.
Yeah. Ooh. Defended at the back post as well.
Out to Rosicki. What a very good game he's had. Bergkamp, Lauren.
Yeah, I think sometimes a game like this is well suited to him, because we talk about when the ball is being lumped in against you and you having to stand and battle it and scrap it. But he's quick and he's bright. And not only that, he sets attacks up quickly.
Lee Dixon, Parler, Wiltor. Cole Wideman. Cole tried to wriggle between two and ended up being the meat in the sandwich. Parler. Vieira gave it away, Cole got it back, Bergkamp. Oleg Luzhny, solid citizen as ever, Patrick Vieira, who's something just a little bit more than solid and whose composure over the last couple of games has done him credit. Tend to give a dog a bad name, but he's been a very, very good boy in extenuating circumstances. Wiltor. Porniak. Sionko. Vieira. Parler.
Actually, Sparta Prague look a lot livelier now than they did in the first sort of half an hour. They look as if they're frightened of the game. Now, whether it's a relief, they know they're going to get beaten and they've got no fear now, but they seem to be playing nice and bright. Still look as if they could concede another goal, but at least some of the play, particularly of Laban, has impressed me a lot. Brzezinski, the number 25, the midfield player, is a little engine. And Sionko, they've been threats, and one or two of the solid citizens at the back. Porniak. Novotny, I don't think, has been as good as I would have thought. I thought he'd have been more commanding.
There's David Dean, Arsenal's supporter-in-chief, their vice-chairman. He likes them to win football matches, but he counts the pounds, shillings and pence, and a win in the Champions League at this stage is worth approximately £190,000 basic. There are lots of other bits and pieces to add on to that. You've read that Leeds getting through would be worth about £10 million to them. There are all sorts of UEFA payments and television money and bits and pieces, advertising revenue. It's a lucrative competition. Back for Horniak. Brzezinski. At the top for Kinsel. Oleg Luzhny got up highest, and Ashley Cole shinned it into touch. He's done well since coming on at left back. Half-time, here's a change for Sparta Prague. Libor Sionko is going off. That is Petr Papausek, who is replacing him, a wide right player, if the first meeting between the clubs is a reasonable guide. Another former Dukla Prague player who was loaned out to a less fashionable club for the duration of last season after a few niggling injuries and a lack of form, but he's revitalised now. And here he is, Papausek, for the first time, and he's got away from Cole. He's delivered across, his Kinsel's header. Now that is a handy change by the coach.
Well, if it's tactical, it is, but I would have thought it would give full marks. Good skill, good ball delivery, poor header from Kinsel, who's looked. You said that he was an embarrassment nowadays. Looked awful tonight, really.
Last 5 minutes of an evening which for Arsenal has been almost laid back. Luzhny perhaps too laid back. Kinsel couldn't get onto it. what you might call a horizontal night's football for Arsenal Football Club. Vieira, not that wins happen by themselves. The players have had to get up to a certain degree, but
they've always had that extra. You've always felt, no matter, even if they'd have got to 3-3, you've always felt that Arsenal could have pulled another 3 goals out the bag. But in view of the way they had to scrap against the nets, the way they had to fight and that, oh, just one in here.
Mina. Vivas away from Papalsek. On by Laron. Through by Parlin. Look at the space for Bergkamp and look at the space for Wiltor. Somebody finish it off. Sylvain Wiltor. Oh,
good save that. Good save. Give a goal kick. Bergkamp wants a corner. I'm sure the keeper's made a great save there. I thought he got a great hand to it. He's measured his pass into his run. He takes it, wants it back on his right foot. He puts it on his right foot.
Inconclusive though. I think it did get a touch of the post.
I thought the keeper saved it. I thought sure the keeper got a touch. You know, Bergkamp was adamant. But no.
Still can't tell.
Good refereeing. I'll take his word.
Through towards Papalsek. Seaman has come. Papalsek's pushed wide by David Seaman. Here's Kinsel. That's a good save.
And that's a good save.
By Ashley Cole. And this is Rosicki. And that's a good save by Patrick Vieira. And that's a shot wide by Rosicki. Well, this guy has only enhanced his reputation. Seaman did well in the first instance, Cole did well in the second, and now look at this. Straight at Patrick Vieira, and he's football's equivalent of Brian Close. He won't admit when he's been hit by the ball and it hurts, but you saw him wince momentarily. Might be viewers, I suppose, who don't know who Brian Close is. He used to play cricket for Yorkshire and England, and he got hit by the ball a lot, and he didn't appear to care.
I know Closey, and I'll tell you what now, if he was stood near you now, he'd have wrung your neck. Don't know Brian Closey.
Well, sure, all cricket lovers would run, but that's not necessarily the bulk of our audience. Here's Kinsel.
Good
half decent hit.
That was a good effort. Yeah.
Got a goal against Slovan Liberec in the 4-1 win on Saturday. Sure will be being watched tonight by the Slovan Liberec players in their hotel in Liverpool. Good evening to them if they are tuned in. Rosicki over the top. Good looking ball. Kinsel is through the middle. Papalsek. Doesn't get any better for Rangers, by the way, in Group D. They are trailing 1-0 in Graz, and Arthur Newman has been sent off. They're down to 10 men, and clearly they'll be in the last couple of minutes of that contest too. Bergkamp winning one aerially. Canning couldn't get there. Rosic. By Laban towards Kinsel, who met it well, got in front of Luzhny, hasn't done that often on the night. But the best he can hope for the rest of the season is a game or two in the UEFA Cup.
He's had two little sparks there all of a sudden. Kinsel hadn't done much in the course of the game. Got his early shot then, and that wasn't bad striking. That got in front of the defender, just glanced it past the post.
Three minutes to add on to the 90. Bergkamp won it again. Rosicki, Hasek. Kinsel has pulled away wide. Rosicki over the top.
Still very bright, isn't he, Rosicky? Full marks to him. Just kept going.
They have kept going for Ivan Hasek, who is bound, of course, to be disappointed by this, but Sparta Prague, you always thought, would be third favourites in this group. And again, you always thought that Lazio would be the favourites, and Arsenal have strolled away with it. What a really accomplished achievement this has been by Arsenal over the first phase of this competition. They have the players to beat the best, and you could allow yourself to get a little bit excited by their prospects in this competition without getting carried away. Yarossi, not judged by Cole. Mino. Papausek. Originally couldn't make the clearance. Yarosik is onto it. Kinsel. And Rosicky into the cock end. That kind of evening.
Yeah, they've had a few chances, haven't they? They've had a lot of opportunities. I think a lot of it is due to the fact that there's a certain foot off the pedal now from Arsenal. Nevertheless, they've had 3 or 4 good opportunities in the closing stages.
It is that kind of relaxed atmosphere. David Seaman in conversation with the supporters behind him.
Yeah, he'll have had very few European nights like this one. I mean, he's made a right reach. He's made 2 or 3 very good saves. A right reach for the goal, and yet I don't think anybody will even think about it.
Rosicky, it's a super run. It's a good shot. It's a smashing goal. Do you know, that is as good a goal as you'll see in the Champions League. He ran away from a couple of tacklers, and he finished with aplomb. That's a super goal. It's 4-2.
Deserved it. He's kept going all night. He's shown good energy. He's shown good enthusiasm. And this is a good goal. All right, the tackles might have been a little bit non-existent, but Seaman, no chance. Turns inside Dixon. Gives Vivas the slip. And a very, very good finish. And he deserves it, because he has worked terrifically hard.
He's a good player.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. I bet the Bundesliga are taking note of him.
I'm sure they are, but the whole of Europe is going to have to take note of Arsenal, who, with a level of comfort that at times was almost too great, have eased away from Sparta Prague and who have won their group, courtesy of goals from Kanu, from Parla to start with, from Lauren and also from Lee Dixon. They yielded a penalty in the first half and a late goal from Rosicky. Lee Dixon was the captain on the night, and he'll have relished his goal-scoring evening and his heroics from time to time at the back. Thoroughly accomplished, utterly comfortable. Arsenal 4, Sparta Prague 2, Desmond Lynham and Glenn Hoddle very short.